All right, thank you guys. Wake Forest takes on Rutgers, and that's going to be an 11 a.m. Eastern kickoff. Wake Forest is minus 17, total 62.5. And before I go ahead and move on with the video here, I just have to take a quick time out to wish you a very happy new year. Now I know that 2021 was a really tough and challenging year for a lot of people out there, especially some of you folks who are watching me right now or watch me every single day. And I just need to let you know that, I love you, I appreciate you, and because of people like you, my 2021 was absolutely spectacular. I can't complain, and I can't do any of it without you. So with that in mind, there you have it, and I look forward to an even better 2022 with you. And as always, of course, got to throw in a little plug here. If you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, I strongly suggest you check out my premium picks on my website at brockpage.com. Now, when it comes to this ball game here, Wake Forest had one of the most powerful offensive attacks in the country this season. The Deacs are averaging over 41 points a game, and they threw for nearly 310 yards per contest. And as a matter of fact, Sam Hartman threw for nearly 4,000 yards this season. He's going to eclipse that mark here today, barring any unforeseen, freak injuries early in the game. But anyway, Hartman threw for nearly 4,000 yards this year, along with 36 touchdowns. And even though one of his 1,000-yard receivers is already preparing for the draft, Hartman actually had two 1,000-yard receivers this year on his offense. A.T. Perry, he's going to be playing today. He caught 61 balls for nearly 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns this season. Wake Forest currently ranks in the top 15 in the country in offensive yards per contest. Now, they're taking on a Rutgers team who's done a pretty poor job of getting takeaways on defense. As a matter of fact, the Scarlet Knights rank 100th in defensive takeaways, and they come into today's contest losers of 7 out of their last 9. Now, this anemic Scarlet Knight offense threw for just 172 yards a game, and they currently rank 118th in the country in offensive yards per contest. Now, total-wise, Rutgers saw games with Maryland, Wisconsin, and Ohio State get over the posted number. Meanwhile, Wake Forest went 6-3 to the over in their last 9. I'm going to lean toward Wake Forest minus 17 and the over 62.5. Next ball game. It is going to be Washington State versus Central Michigan, 12 o'clock Eastern start time. Wazoo is minus 7, totals 57.5. But despite coming into this contest here today as the touchdown favorite, Washington State has not been spectacular with regard to running the football. And as a matter of fact, the Cougs are 96th in the country in offensive rush yards per contest. And when Washington State traveled this season, they actually had a pretty tough time throwing the football as well. The Cougars are currently 102nd in the nation in pass yards per contest away from home. Meanwhile, defensively on the other side of the football, as good as Washington State has been in that aspect of the game, they do actually rank 113th in fourth quarter points allowed. So with that particular stat in mind, there could always be the possibility of a backdoor cover looming, even if Washington State wins it outright. Now, they're taking on a Central Michigan team who won their last 4 straight, and they do a pretty nice job of moving the football. The Chippewas actually averaged 33 points a game this year, and they currently rank in the top 20 in offensive yards per contest. Now, Lou Nichols III, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this guy, but he's been awesome this year. He rushed for over 1,700 yards, and he scored 15 times on the ground this season. Once again, that is Lou Nichols III, so keep an eye on him today. And as a matter of fact, Nichols averaged 143 rushing yards per game. Now, the Chippewas also do a really nice job of protecting the football as well, as they currently rank in the top 10 in the country in fewest offensive turnovers. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, Central Michigan saw 3 out of their last 5 ball games get over the posted number. Meanwhile, Washington State went 4-0 to the over in their last 4 straight themselves. I'm going to lean toward Central Michigan +7 over 57.5. I'll be right back. I got to get a drink. All right, I'm back. It's me. All right, guys, next ball game. Big interest in this one. Talking about Cincinnati versus Alabama, 3:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Now, the Alabama Crimson Tide is -13.5, totals 58. Crimson Tide averages 43 points a game, and they rank in the top 10 in the country in passing. Bryce Young's thrown for over 4,300 yards, along with 43 touchdowns. Jamison Williams also has 68 grabs for 1,445 yards and 15 receiving touchdowns as well. As a matter of fact, the junior averages over 21 yards a catch. This guy certainly makes things happen when he's on the field. Now, defensively, on the other side of the football, Alabama is also in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed per contest. They're currently 19th in defensive takeaways, and they're holding their opponents to only 81 rushing yards a game. Now, they're taking on a Cincinnati team whose toughest opponent in the last 9 weeks has been Houston. And although these guys have been really good defensively amongst these smaller schools, they do have some problems offensively coughing up the football. As a matter of fact, the Bearcats currently find themselves 116th in the nation in offensive turnovers. Cincinnati also failed to cover the point spread in 4 out of their last 7 ball games. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, 5 out of Cincinnati's last 7 ball games fell under the posted number. Meanwhile, Alabama went 4-3 to the under in their last 7 themselves. I'm going to lean toward Alabama minus. I'm going to lean toward Alabama -13.5 and the under 58. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Georgia versus Michigan, 7:30 Eastern start time. Georgia's -7.5, totals 45. And as dominant as the Bulldogs have been this season, they're coming fresh off a 17-point loss to Alabama in the SEC Championship, where they gave up 41 total points. Now, the Bulldogs are also failing to cover in 4 out of their last 7 ball games, and they currently find themselves ranking 84th in the country in passing yards per contest away from home. These guys have struggled to throw the football away from Athens. Now, they're taking on a Michigan team who successfully covered the point spread in 8 out of their last 9 ball games. And they're also allowing only 16 points per contest themselves. As a matter of fact, this Wolverine defense is holding their opponents to under 195 yards a game passing, and they currently rank 12th in the nation in defensive yards allowed per contest. Meanwhile, offensively, the Wolverines scored 38 points a game this season, and they have one of the best rushing attacks in the entire country. Hassan Haskins rushed for nearly 1,300 yards and scored 20 touchdowns on the ground. Meanwhile, the other running back, Blake Corum, he averaged nearly 7 yards a carry himself, which is actually more than Haskins. And Corum also scored 11 times on the ground as well. Michigan is currently in the top 20 in offensive yards per contest. When it comes to the total in this one, Michigan's last 3 straight all got over the number. They also went 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Meanwhile, Georgia saw 3 out of their last 4 get over the posted total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Michigan +7.5 and the over 45. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap, powered to you by my website at brockpage.com. I like Wake Forest -17 over 62.5. Central Michigan +7 over 57 1/2. Alabama -13.5 under 58. And with my next and final free pick for the video, give me Michigan +7.5 and the over 45. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on brockpage.com, you're going to get billed today and then again tomorrow. So your best value is to just wait until January 1st and get a package then. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. Having said that, though, if you are interested, I'm not going to hold you back, in getting 1 day worth of service. And I will tell you that one of these games I just handicapped, I do have my personal action on. So the only way you can find out is if you sign up for a membership on brockpage.com. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. I also got to thank you for, bearing with me over the past couple of days. Of course, I'm sick. A lot of folks that have been around me over the holidays, they did take their COVID tests, and they all came up negative. So it looks like I don't have the Omicron variant. But I don't know. It certainly feels like it, man. I feel like doggy do. I do not feel good. But yeah, a bunch of people that I was around over the holidays, they all took tests and they all came back negative. There was a part of me that, not wish they came back positive, but, I just want an explanation as to why I'm so sick right now. But anyway, as you guys know, and if you've been following me for a while, this time of year, December, I always get sick as a dog. It never fails. December, I always get sick. So it could be seasonal allergies. I don't know. But regardless, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. It's been a great year. Like I said earlier in the video, I can't do it without you guys. You guys are awesome. So it's been a great year. I don't like to get too sentimental on this because I don't care what happened yesterday or the day before, the day after that. We got to keep moving on and winning games. So we got to look ahead to 2022. There's not a lot of time to reminisce and look back. We got to keep going. We got to keep getting better. And with your guys' help, we got to keep growing this channel, growing this brand. You guys are awesome. You guys have done a great job in doing that for me. But anyway, guys, with that in mind, Happy New Year's Eve to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.